I sold that for $280,000, but that was in 1974, so you know how much money that would have been today. Yeah. I hit the, now the cars are going so high that you can't compete.
Yeah.
Cars that I used to sell for $1,500 are bringing $14 million.
Are any of the cars you sold still around? Coming up? Cars that you sold
Oh, a lot of them are coming up now.
are coming up now.
And those, people are buying them, or the hedge funders that, make a god-awful lot of money every year. So it's pocket change for them.
But do they buy new Rolls-Royces, or they're looking for the vintage ones?
No, they want the vintage ones, and not just Rolls-Royces. Ferrari is big. It's art to them, and it really is. I had a Ferrari that belonged to Bridget Bardot. It was given to her by the head of Fiat. He was trying to romance her. And a friend of mine who was a race driver was in Paris, and he called me. He says, Bridget Bardot wants to sell this car. Number one, she can't drive it because it's a stick shift, and she broke up with him. So I bought the car for like $2,500, and it was a one of a kind. What we call in the business a one-off. And I had it shipped. In those days, you could put cars in everything. In Europe, you could put them in, but if they weren't filled, because they weren't bringing much back, they were bringing too much, a lot over. And I flew it into New York for $300. So I sold the car to Wally Schirra, who was the Gemini 6 astronaut. In those days, those astronauts were there. And McDonnell Aircraft here was Boeing today, as they were handling all of that. So I had all those astronauts, and he paid me $4,500 for it. When Enzo Ferrari died, he died. Wally Schirra died about a year before, and that car was sent to Monaco for an auction. Just like if Picasso died, because it was a Scaglietti body, special, one of a kind, 1953. And that car went back then, 20 years ago, for $14.5 million. I got a picture of my front line when I had the car wash. If I had those cars in that front line,
Oh, I know that picture.
Today, they'd be worth multi-millions of dollars. And I went, you're buying for nothing.
But you were you never felt like you wanted to start your own collection?
No.
You were never your own collector.
No,
Are there
because
dealers who collect?
My love was art, always.
Yeah.
And I won't sell art.
Yeah.
But when you're in the business, the cars, you can't fall in love with them. I knew those cars were going to be worth a lot of money someday. But,
You had to move them.
You had to move them.
Get the wheels on the road was your motto. Get the wheels on the road.
Yeah, they have to.
But what, are Rolls-Royce still making a lot of cars now?
No, BMW owns Rolls-Royce. And what Rolls-Royce is, as an architect, you could understand. It is a BMW 750i, chassis, motor, everything. And they have the grill is about that wide. And it's the most ostentatious thing, and it's $500,000. And, not too many, people, buy art, cars are art, but the new stuff, they got two of them over there that are going to end up being repossessed.
The original Rolls-Royce,
Next door.
Dad, the Rolls-Royce, when it began, why did they rise to the top? Why did Rolls-Royce, that car,
the first
of all the
Rolls-Royce
cars?
was built in 1903, okay? It was a silver ghost. And Sir Charles Rolls and Sir Henry Royce, Henry Royce was the engineer, and Rolls, Sir Charles Rolls, was the sales type person, okay? And he died in 29 in a balloon race at the, went
really?
down, yeah.
Oh.
And
Wow.
that's when the grill was.
He died in a
Always
balloon
red,
race.
the Rolls-Royce
Yeah.
in there, insignia, and then they changed it to black, and that was when he died. But they built, without a question, the best car in the world. And
Yeah.
that car was so advanced over, you were talking about 1903.
Yeah,
What we had then was a Model T.
right.
And
But
what
they were
was
still building
your,
by hand, right? They built,
absolutely.
every car was, and even
I-
later on, it was all
Ambrose, I went
hand-made.
to the factory about 5 times, I'd go there free. 2 times I went on the
Queen Mary?
The Concorde?
Concourse.
Oh, Concorde.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No more Concorde anymore.
no.
No more, wow. What was that like?
That thing would go.
How fast?
Oh, it was unbelievable. We went
Take a
from,
nap and
from
you're there?
Kennedy Airport to
The Heathrow,
Heathrow,
yeah,
and they had a special place for it to land,
yeah.
and they had all your, before you got off the plane, the luggage sitting out there,
Yeah.
everything. That was an experience. That was all free. You know,
It was like, instead of 6 hours, it was like a 3-hour flight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was about half
less
the
than
time.
3 hours.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then we went to the factory. I've been there, I guess, 6 or 7 times. But they really were building those cars back then by
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
And they had craftsmen. When they built the engine, they put it on a bench,
Yeah,
and they ran it.
yeah,
And they let it run for 24 hours.
yeah.
And they actually, I watched it, they took stethoscopes and they put it on to find any noise. If they found noise, they would reject it. Yeah. So, and then the
Incredible.
guys that did the wood,
It's a
I mean, you could
science.
see it was unbelievable. And
And
the
an art.
paint,
The walnut veneer on
yeah, the burl
on the-
walnut,
Exactly.
just all hand.
And
all
that
rubbed
smell.
out. It was
Dad, do you
like
have any
there was
right
no
now?
assembly
Like a smell?
line there,
Yeah.
just different places. That was in Crewe, England, and everything they did was just hand, and those cars were great cars.
Yeah, and the
then,
leather work and
And
everything.
Dad, they have a smell of their own.
No, that's the Conley leather. See, the Conley
That's
leather,
the
the
leather
Conley
smell.
brothers, they had unfenced cattle, so they would not be the what do you call them, the leather or whatever, the hides, they wouldn't have any like the regular ones where they got into getting.
Oh, they were
cut.
smooth and perfect, yeah.
Wow.
But that's all gone,
Yeah.
not,
But don't they still build jet engines for
yes, yes.
airplanes?
I'll tell you a story about the stupidity of the Germans. Volkswagen bought Rolls-Royce and they bought Bentley.
What year would you say?
That was about in 1997 or 8.
Not
They
long?
sold, they went broke.
Wow.
And they thought they bought Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, but they got Bentley. Okay? But Rolls-Royce.
What is their
What
relationship?
they didn't understand was always owned the two together was the aircraft industry.
Yeah.
So BMW heard about it and went around and bought it for virtually nothing. Well, that's how they lost it. I mean, that's big, a big corporation.
Yeah.
You
You
would
would thought they
think.
would be smarter than that.
Yes.
Wow.
Should I turn this off? I don't want to run down your battery. I love these stories, Dad. I don't